For today's video, very exciting video, we have the dual position players revealed for Supercoach 2022 on afl.com.au. This is for AFL Fantasy, but it applies to Supercoach. So yeah, we'll see some interesting positional changes. I've had a quick look at it, and it's just created more headaches. Yeah, I think the one player I'm really disappointed that's lost dual position is Rowan Marshall is ruck only. That's a disaster. So that's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works of what I was planning to do with the rucks, but plenty of time to go, so we'll see. But yeah, we'll go through the list. I'll react to all of them. I think there's a few lesser relevant players missing on this list, but these are the main relevant ones. So yeah, we'll go. It's in order of club by club. But yeah, also it's good to have some fantasy content out there. You know, on afl.com.au or even Herald Sun or whatnot. Starting to feel like the season's starting to kick off, even though it's, I think, just under 4 months away, which is way too long. But pre-season starts now. Probably the most fun part. So, the Adelaide Crows, Smith defender, Jordan Dawson defender only. Bit disappointing he didn't get mid. Think he would have been really close, but that's fine. Still relevant. Shoal mid only, Laird mid only as expected, and Schallenberg mid only, which is pretty bad because there was potential for him to be an okay forward option. I still think it's a little early for Schallenberg. Still will be third year. Plus there's a lot of players vying for midfield time, so a bit of a slight squeeze in the Crows midfield. But nonetheless, yeah, I think Laird still an upgrade target. Dawson, we'll see how he goes in the preseason. Understand his role a bit better. So those are the main points from there. Brisbane, Zach Bailey mid forward. Don't think he'll get enough mid time. He's too good of a forward, so probably stays up there. So might not score enough, but he scores pretty well for his role. But yeah, not one I'll look at as a starting pick. Zorko mid only, thank goodness. I don't have to worry about him this year. Carlton, Zach Williams defender only. George Hewitt defender mid. I haven't really looked too much into Hewitt. He did average 88 a few years back when he played more midfield. I assume he's going to play midfield. He'll play midfield for Carlton, so we'll keep an eye on him. Probably an unlikely one though. There's a lot of good defenders this year. Matt Kennedy mid only, a bit disappointing, but with Chera and Hewitt coming in, I feel like his role is not safe, but he did score well when played in the midfield. It was a high pick. Petty Dow mid only, don't have to worry about him. Collingwood, Will Kelly defender forward, so he should be around base price, and he's had a lot of injuries, but I think he's in their long-term plans. So this will be really nice. We can chuck him at D8 possibly, if he's named round 1. I assume they want to play him. It's just been injuries have gotten in the way. But yeah, showed some ability. Will Kelly. So keep an eye on him as a rookie. Jack Crisp, defender mid, which is great. Still need to keep an eye on him, how he's used under the new coach. Plus, not sure how Collingwood's game style will be. Something to keep an eye on. Keep saying that. Degoe mid forward. Hopefully he goes to jail and we don't have to deal with him. However, that being said, if he does retain his spot on the list, which seems likely according to Tom Brown, that means he might be, say, banned for the first few games and he'll come in. We might have to bring him in after. So Degoe is really important. He might shape Collingwood's midfield, because if he's out, does that mean Finn McRae gets less time? Who's not on this list, which is a little concerning. So we don't know if Finn McRae's mid or forward. Lipinski's mid time. Reef McInnes might get a bit more mid time. So yeah, Degoe's presence will sort of shape. It might shape a few Collingwood picks. Same with Crisp. Like, what's Crisp doing? Maynard might get more mid time. So that's a whole nother story. But Degoe, if he's named round 1, I still don't know if I want to pick him because he's a piece of crap. So I don't know. But he was looking like a lock before the incident happened. Side bottom mid forward, forget him for now. Dacos mid only, that's whatever. Nick Dacos mid only, that's fine. I'll lock him in. Playing half back to start off with, so I think he'll still be a good rookie. Good job security, you would assume. And Lipinski's an interesting one. 150 average in the VFL. Sucks that he's not forward. One that is on the watch list for the preseason. Big time. But the price is just terrible for him. So we'll see. About 350k. So Essendon, Dyson Heppel defender, whatever. Hind defender. Probably doesn't. Started getting kickouts towards the end of the season. If he got a lot of kickouts, Hind would be top 8, top 6 defender, but he doesn't. But we'll see. We'll see what happens this year. Stringer mid forward, just quietly, I think he averaged around 110 after the bye. It was inflated. One score he had 180, but has had quite a few soft tissue injuries, so that's pretty concerning. I don't really want to start anyone who's had multiple soft tissue injuries in any line, to be honest. Aside from maybe Sean Darcy, but that's another story. Langford mid only, don't have to worry about him. Cordwell mid only, could have been a 280k forward, but is not, so it's mid only. So nothing really. Stringer is a weird one. I don't think I'll start him, but it's one where he could be one of the best players in the league. He's got those capabilities. So Fremantle, Walters forward, irrelevant. Brody mid forward, which is great, with Fife injured and the loss of Chera. Maybe there is opportunity for Will Brody. Nat Fife mid only, not relevant anymore. Jordan Clark mid. So there's potential for him to be a forward or even a defender, but he's mid only, so don't have to worry about him. Darcy Ruck. Darcy did play a bit of forward time last year, but more towards the start of the season. So yeah, only Will Brody's the main one here. 220k, I think he'll be. So Geelong. Zach Tui, defender mid, whatever. Sean Higgins forward, whatever. He's pretty much done as a player just about. Mitch Duncan mid forward and Paddy Dangerfield mid only. Isaac Smith mid only. So start with Duncan. He's an upgrade target potentially. Again, he's had quite a few soft tissue injuries, plus he had injuries in 2021 as well. So he'll be expensive as well. I think he was priced at about 100. So not a starting pick for me. A upgrade target. Dangerfield mid only. So Dangerfield is not relevant this year. For the first time in must be a decade or so. Gold Coast. Finally some good news. So the Lukoshis defender mid. That's whatever. He might be playing forward, but yeah, wouldn't worry about Lukoshis for a Supercoach pick. Lockie Weller mid forward, whatever. I haven't really monitored Weller, to be honest. And the big one, Elijah Hollands mid forward. So we have our F6 for the year, Elijah Hollands. So probably will be the most selected player out of all the rookies, aside from potentially Nick Dacos might get a bit more ownership, but this is free, so we're all going to pick Elijah Hollands. Really wanted the Crows to draft him, but outstanding talent. Loved watching his highlights in the under 18s. So the Giants, not under 18s, would have been 17s because he was injured. So the Giants. So this is a total disaster. The Giants DPPs, because this when I was going through this list and I got to the Giants, I was like, yeah, this is okay so far. And then this came up and I'm like, you think this looks good, right? Lockie Whitfield, defender mid. Okay, you got defender status. Cornelio forward, Taranto forward. How good's this? This is bad for a number of reasons. Because I feel forced to pick Whitfield and Cornelio. Taranto I'll get to in a second, and Kelly played forward first half of the year, or first 6 rounds, mid only, so wouldn't worry about Josh Kelly, potential upgrade target, but happy to forgo him in 2022. So Lockie Whitfield was very close to losing defender status, and he's a defender again, and he will be priced at 92, so around 490k for Lockie Whitfield. Plus the DPP flex is really nice. I'm sure when we had Laird this year, it was very useful. I feel forced to pick Whitfield because the upside is too good, despite his no soft tissue history, which is good, but just concussions or knocks in the contests seem to get him pretty bad. But he could easily get to 600k in the first 6-7 rounds. So there's a lot of value there. There's value in the DPP when you're doing upgrades and downgrades. So I'll probably start Whitfield and I'll probably end up trading him out and back in again, which is not ideal, but it's one where I fear the upside of Whitfield. he needs a full preseason because he had no preseason. He had like a busted liver or something, whatever it was. That's enough on Whitfield. So yeah, we'll probably start Whitfield. I was hoping that he would be mid only, so we wouldn't have to deal with this. Stephen Cornelio mid forward, so he'll be priced between 320 and 250, depending on his discount, as far as I know. Hopefully he's 250. If he's 250, you probably lock him in. Is he best 22? You would think so. Hopefully he gets a full preseason and potential keeper up forward. If not, one you can just leave there as long as he plays. You just leave him there in the forward line for as long as possible till you upgrade him. So, is he going to play a lot mid or forward? I think he'll probably play a combination of both, but he's Canelo. He's averaged 100 or 90 plus quite a few times, so still should be in his prime. If he's healthy, I think you just pick him in round 1, but yeah. Did have slight job security issues, but it seems like he's still the captain, so we'll see. And Taranto mid forward. So I actually think this is a trap as a starting pick because towards the end of the year in 2021, he played almost exclusively forward a few times. He had to go back into the midfield because they lost a lot of. I think Josh Kelly was out. They had a few. Cornelio was out. They had a few other players out, so was kind of forced to play midfield, but then went back to playing forward. So is he might have a 70-30 forward mid split. So for me, Taranto, look, if he plays midfield, it's free. You pick him, but for me, I will not start Taranto because I'm not sure. There's every chance he plays a lot forward. It's problematic using him in the midfield as well because his kicking is just atrocious. So yeah, these three are very. Wasn't planning on any of these three, to be honest, but now I'm planning for Whitfield and Cornelio, but we'll see. So that's enough on the Giants. So much for the no GWS player policy, but we'll see how that goes. Hawthorn, Impey, defender only, whatever, Bramble, whatever, defender. Bramble's a really good player, though. I like him. Does have hamstring history, though. Chad Wingard, mid forward, whatever. Capable, but who knows. Phillips, mid only. Good riddance to that pick. Finn McGuinness, mid forward, might be rookie price, but I'm not sure if he's best 22. And McAvoy, ruck forward, getting on a bit, but assume they use Reeves and Lynch over McAvoy in the ruck. Sam Mitchell really it seems like he wants to play kids. But yeah. Melbourne, Harms, mid only, lost defender. Luke Jackson, ruck forward. Still too early for Luke Jackson for me, so I don't really see relevance here. But Luke Jackson, you never know. I just figure Gawn is still the number 1 ruck, so it's very hard to have premium output as a second ruckman. So, yeah. North Melbourne. So, lots of DPPs here. This is an interesting one. Hole defender, I'll probably pick him. Zeeble defender only, probably won't pick him. Stevenson, whatever, forward only. Jed Anderson mid forward, capable, but with the addition of Hugh Greenwood, I don't know what that means for Anderson, and plus his durability is not great. So capable, but one I'll go without. Taron Thomas, I like. Just, again, Hugh Greenwood coming in. Don't know about his mid-time, but looks a very, very exciting player for North. Really scary good player when he gets going in the midfield. Damaging, spreads really well. I like Taron Thomas a lot. So I think upgrade target, though. Just want to make sure... try and figure out what the dynamic is of that North Melbourne midfield. Will Phillips mid forward. I think he might be about 200k, so potentially a rookie for us. McDonald mid only, playing wings or whatever. And this is a big one. So Vaughan Francis is a mid only, not a forward. We figured that he did play a bit of forward in the SNFL. But yeah, not a forward. So can you go Horn, Francis, and Dacos? Well, I think you prioritise Dacos. Dacos' role will be better for a start. But yeah, I think Dacos is a high production player. So I'm leaning towards Dacos over Horn at the moment. Port Adelaide, Houston, defender only, it's whatever. Rosie, forward only, whatever. Zach Butters, forward only. For me, an upgrade target. Should be a capable player, but is a little injury prone for my liking. So never really had for example, Whitfield has durability issues. However, he's proven before he can play every game and be a premium, whereas Zach Butters hasn't played every game and been a premium yet before. So capable though with Zach Butters, but yeah, one on the watch list, but probably a bit too risky for my liking. So yeah, interesting pick. Wouldn't blame you if you pick Butters though. Bergman mid only, played wing, so it's whatever. So Richmond, Dan Rioli, defender forward. I'm not sure his ceiling's high enough to be a premium in either line, but expect him to play halfback. Shea Bolton mid forward, never again. Thompson Dow mid forward. I don't really know anything about him, to be honest. Dustin Martin mid forward. Potential upgrade target, although he might be a trap this year. It seems, yeah, I think he had that rough injury where he lost 10 kilos over the preseason or over the off season. So see how he goes. Maybe look at him in the back half of the year, but I don't really like Richmond as a team this year or in 2022. Seems like they'll struggle in my opinion, but I could be very wrong on that. I just don't see it with the midfield setup that they have. Jack Graham midfield, whatever, hasn't really been a high enough accumulator. So yeah. So St Kilda. So this is the tragic one. Rowan Marshall. Jump straight to it. Rowan Marshall's lost forward status, which is really bad. But yeah, we'll go through the list anyway. Hill defender only. No. Hunter Clark defender mid. Not really sure. Probably a no. Durability, and not sure if he's good or not. Showing some good signs, but just hasn't put it together yet. Higgins forward only. He's a forward. Played midfield in juniors, but now he's a forward. Jack Billings mid only. Whatever. Potential there for him to get forward, but apparently not. Gresham mid forward, so might be 290k, something like that. A capable player, but again, might be too damaging forward, and that's where they might use him. So we'll see. Rowan ruck only disaster. I think I'd have him still behind Gawn, behind Darcy, probably behind Grundy as well, potentially behind or on par with McInerney. Not sure. McInerney's an interesting one, but probably actually even behind McInerney as well, but we'll see. Not too sure. Paddy Ryder ruck only, not relevant. So Sydney, Nick Blakey, defender only, whatever. Did play the defence role last year. Not sure what he's capable of just yet. Campbell, defender only, still seems a bit raw to me, but we'll see how it goes in the preseason. Heaney, forward. I will always fear the upside of Isaac Heaney. I dream of Heaney, but I wouldn't blame you if you pick Heaney, but I also wouldn't blame you if you call people an idiot for starting Heaney. Not at all. It's how it is with that player. So 440k mid-time, full preseason. Maybe. We'll see. Not sure I want to put... Starting Whitfield as well, then I'm not too sure about that. So, yeah, probably too risky, to be honest. Pick him up after an injury game at some point if you still play midfield. Callum Mills mid-only. So, lost defender status as expected. I like Mills as a player. He's really good. Covers the ground well. Pretty strong overhead. Strong in the contest. Big, strong body. Problem is, in the midfield, I think you want durability to go with premium scoring, whereas Mills probably doesn't have the durability of the others, but still not the worst durability. Sinclair ruck forward, whatever. Liam Duggan, defender mid, not relevant. And the Bulldogs, Bailey Dale, defender only, it's whatever. Probably won't pick him, don't think so. Shaki, defender forward, not relevant. Treloar, mid forward. Too many soft tissue injuries for Treloar. Plus, it's very hard to get mid-time, but I think he's an upgrade target in the second half of the year. Because they saw what he can do when they put him into the midfield, which was a great move by Bevo in the grand final. Second quarter, Treloar pretty much took over that game. And then third quarter was a disaster for the entire team, but not one I'd start with, but one I'd look to after. Yeah, just depends. It's very hard to get mid-time. Josh Dunkley, hallelujah, mid-forward. I pick Josh Dunkley every year. And I'm telling you, if you're worried about Dunkley, yes, he's had 2 major injuries, which were, popped his shoulder out in a aerial contest. and then landed awkwardly on his ankle in a marking contest, or got caught under someone's foot, something like that. But nonetheless, Dunkley will perform. His work ethic is too high to drop off. Trust me on this. Pick Josh Dunkley. Look, there's every chance he gets injured, some sort of bad contact injury, but if Dunkley doesn't get injured and he's playing 40% midfield, he'll probably average 125 again. So see how he goes. See if he's completely over the shoulder. But nonetheless, I will pick Josh Dunkley this year, next year, and the year after, and the year after that, as long as he's forward. Maybe even, I'm probably not as a mid, but just because of the other options now. But love Dunkley as a pick. Hunter mid only, not relevant. Tim English, well, this is our ruck forward for the year, I think. However, he is a forward. He's not really a ruckman. He doesn't want to be a ruckman. So, yeah, it's a tough one with English. If he's playing mostly forward, which is what he wants, it just depends on how good Jordan Sweet is, plus how durable Steph Martin can be. So I feel like English's scoring is not related to, it's sort of out of his control because he's not really a pure ruckman. So yeah, anyway, that's the video. So main one, so big positives are Hollins. I'll probably Canelio as a forward as well because he'll be so cheap. And then the big bad one is no Rowan Marshall. But yeah. And Horn Francis as well. So yeah, those are probably the main points. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys soon.